Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I see that I'm live. I am looking at this. This is really intoxicating, so to speak. I want to say good evening to everyone. I got a lot done today in the garden. A lot done. I went back there. My backyard is completely covered with weeds, and I had to really fight through that. But I'm happy that my equipment held up. It held up. It did a very good job. But when I went to put string on my trimmer, that was a task because it's been so long since I've done it. Other than that, I really enjoyed cutting my front yard and my backyard. And I checked on my ginger as well as my other plants, and everything looked good. Everything looked good. Do you know the way to San Sensory? But I took some pictures of my yard, the way it looked, because we have a situation where they come out and they like to ticket um, people that don't have their yards cut. And I just took it as there's just a couple of pictures as proof. And on the pictures, sometimes if you know how to locate it on your phone, you had the date and time that you took the picture. But I need to sharpen my blade on my trimmer. Oh, good evening. Good evening. Right. All right. Good evening. Talking a little bit about gardening because that's my favorite subject. If you haven't met me before, um, my channel is the Morning Gardener Show, and I'm the Morning Gardener. And I been gardening now for about 23 years. Each year, I try to put out a fantastic garden, and so far it's been very successful. This year, lots of growth in my fruit trees, but no fruit. I got to figure that out. What's going on? I am definitely happy about the fact that everything's growing on my property. Um, I use everything on my yard. I think I've said that to a number of people before. I use everything from weeds to grass to uh, small tree branches, medium-sized tree branches. I use all of that as fertilizer. It is a must see situation. And I also use my eggshells. There we go, eggshells. And I just ground it up in with an old what do they call them things? Blender. And I had a full bag of this. I mean, half a bag full, and they're pretty heavy. Nothing but eggshells, and it you can use it in the garden. A number of things in the house you can use in the garden. You can use the ashes from your ash. Oh God, what do they call it? From your fireplace. You can use ashes from your pellet stove, and it's free after you burn the wood. You just go ahead and sprinkle it throughout the garden, and it helps your plants grow and sweeter apples and sweeter peaches and that sort of thing. Um, Today I got a lot done. Oh, well, thank you very much. I didn't realize people actually went on my channel and heard some of my songs I did. You know, Barry White is one of my favorite singers of all time. Um, because when I was coming up, to me he was one of the only singers that sounded like an actual guy. So I gravitated towards his music, and then he sang about love and he sang about passion and intimacy, you know. And I thought all that was great. So I did a wedding. I think about 2 weeks ago, and they requested some Barry White songs, and I did what they asked me to do, and it was fun. Food was good, and the wedding was done very good. Wedding. I caught the. I can't think of what they call it. I caught the. It's like a band that goes around the woman's leg. Uh, is it a corsage? I'm not sure what it is. Nope, not a corsage. I can't think of it right now. But I caught it, and they were commenting that this is the second time I've caught it um, with a wedding that was there in their family. So I don't know why. It just seemed like they throw it up, and I look at it, and I see it, and before I know it, I've got it. And uh, you have some of the women that very young women, you know, kind of nervous putting around a girl leg that's 30. And I'm thinking, oh boy, I said, I don't know this woman. Plus, she had a child next to her that was crying because here this guy is, and he's putting um, the band around his mother's leg. Hello, how you doing? Food Farmers Permaculture. Um, nice apples. Yes, I wish they were mine though. But what I'm still. I got one apple tree that produced a number of apples, and they were all misshapen. And when they were misshapen, I I still um, wonder why they were misshapen. I wonder what kind of type of disease was that caused that. So I oh, okay, thank you, the garter. Okay, that's what it is. Oh, yeah. Say your next. Yeah, yeah, yep. That's what they kept saying. Yeah. So um, I saw that the apples are very small, about and they were misshapen, and I don't know what's going on. Never prune your apple trees, as they will be. Oh, okay, okay. But this is what gets me though, and I know that you've been doing this a lot of years, food fiber permaculture. I know you have. The only thing that gets me is that I look at how close I planted these trees together, and I'm thinking that could be the issue as well. All the trees are like 21 inches apart from each other. And I did that because I was watching that Dave Wilson. My trees are loaded and never pruned. Ah, that's good. Congratulations. Yeah. Um, that's very good. The only thing I'm dealing with it's a situation where they're planted close together. I got that idea from Dave Wilson years ago, and he was talking about high density planting. Now I don't know if he had his as close together as mine are, but I did it because I wanted to stress the trees a little bit so they would produce um, fruit, but not get so big. But my trees, um, I've paid attention to them. All the trees that have space between them, like a 6 to uh, 6 to 4 feet, those trees grew tall. That they did, and they are dwarfs. And some of them got as tall as 22, 23 feet tall, and they're dwarfs. Um, but the ones that were planted close together only got to about 6 feet tall. And this year, the apples, the trees are really, um, uh, they're really healthy looking trees, is what I'm trying to say. They just don't produce apples right now. I don't know what it is. Now, called up, um, it's called, what's that place I bought these trees from? I bought these trees from Stock Brothers. So I get one of the people on the phone, and she says, "Well, let's see now what we got." She said, "You said that they're not producing." I said, "Yeah, not producing." "How old are they?" I said, "Probably around 5, 6 years old." She said, "Well, some apple trees they actually wait until they're about 7 years old before they start actually producing heavily." Okay, so I listened at that. Okay, that's okay. Now, when you buy them, the label says will produce anywhere from two, uh, 2 years to a bit older, depending on the variety of trees. So that is how that works. So I have one apple tree out there that is 6 feet away from a Fuji. It's a Granny Smith, and all it produced this year was all it produced was two apples, and they're beautiful. They're not misshapen. They don't have an insect bites on them. They're incredible. Hold up, let me check something here. I want to make sure I'm getting this right here. See, buy older trees, so you get fruit right away. Okay, thank you. Buy older trees to get fruit right away. Um, okay, yeah, you wish you could grow apples and it gets too hot here for them. Oh, okay, I can understand that. I can understand it. But now here's what I want you to do. You said it gets too hot there for them. What is your growing zone? I want to just look at something. What is your growing zone? Because I used to everything I did was from Stock Brothers. It said that the growing zone, and once I matched it, it always said it matched. But sometimes I still had trouble with growing certain uh, fr- uh, plants. Let's just say that. Oh, that's right. You might not know your growing zone. Okay. Let's see. The easiest way to find it is if you have a cell phone, type in your zip code, and it's a zip code for whatever. It'll tell you. Okay. Oh, 9B. Okay. All right. Let's see something here. Boo ba doo boo boo ba doo ba doo boo. Okay, I get a lot of mail from Stock Brothers. Let's see if I can find them real quick. Okay, I'm with Stock Brothers. Stock Brothers. All right, let's go do this then. Let's do this. But I tell you, Stock Brothers mostly sells apple trees. That's what they mostly sell. They sometimes will run sales, but not often. And their trees are completely expensive. They used to be kind of fair, but after that, after after COVID, and they realized that people were trying desperately to grow a lot of their own foods, they started to increase the price, and that they did. But you'll see when you go. Okay, all right. Let's see what we got here. Shop now, and they got what you initially start. Stock Brother had this little thing where enjoy 10% off of. Let me see if I can get this to act right. No, there we go. I accidentally cut one of my what they call them thing blueberry plants today with the trimmer. Cut it down real bad. When you prune an apple tree, it takes years. It takes years in losing, I said, hormones, mold. Okay, okay, thank you. Now you have a job. Uh, Thank you very much, Food Forest Permaculture. I knew you'd. I kind of figured you'd dig it deeper than yeah, because you're talking about hormones and all. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to find something here. $8.99 flat rate shipping on all orders. That's what they're saying. If you buy a tree, you're gonna get an $8 markup on it. Eight. What is that? 8.99. Yeah, 8.99 markup for shipping in the U.S. All right, now here's an apple tree that is a. Can you see that? No, no. Wait a minute. Let me see something. No, you can't see that. You can't see it. But it's a picture of um, a Granny Smith, and let's see what kind of growing zone it needs. And it says, let's see, you had there 9B, I think it was 9. Let's see. And the thing about it is, look up on Google why not to prune fruit trees. Will do. Will do. Thank you. Because I pruned them. I pruned them. They were 20 some odd feet tall, and I pruned them all the way down to about 6 feet. And I did that because. All right, now look at this right here. I'm trying to give this to you here. It shows that the Granny Smith apple will grow in zones 5 through 9. And you're right, that's close to what you're saying, it being the limit that it can stand. So you're like I was when I try to get a fruit called a pomegranate. It was wonderful, and it said the coldest zone it wants to be grown in is zone 7. Well, I'm zone 7B, and sometimes we get temps. It's been last couple of years, it's been going down to like 6 degrees. And pomegranate can't handle that. So I had to stop buying those plants. They sold them at Home Depot. They were like $10. Little tiny little things. Tiny little things. Um, yeah, I could do that. Thank you. And I got to tell you, it we have an apple tree up the street, some, and it's full of apples, full of apples. No one ever prunes it. It grows in the middle, center lane of the highway. The city planted it, and it grows. It doesn't fruit every year, but this year it's apples all over this tree, but they're all tiny little apples, about the size of a little bit bigger than a golf ball. Excuse me. All right, now it's been a pleasure. Take care now, Food Farms Permaculture. Do you know the way to San Jose? All right. I am definitely going to try to eat as much fresh food as I can from my garden this year. I cut a lot of my oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you down there. Oh, that's no problem. See, pomegranates do pretty good where you are, but if it gets too cold, they'll die. Okay, yeah, mine's. Yeah, but something I really love, and I see it a lot. Um, if you look at farmers and you try to, in some way, mimic what they do, because farmers have to grow bulk. They have to grow a lot, and so you don't want to be. Uh, uh, how can I put it? trying to grow and year in and year out, your plants are not successful. You don't want to do that year in and year out. That's very difficult on you when you say, "Oh man, I put my budget out there. I bought all this fertilizer. I bought all this cow manure. I bought whatever you had to put in your garden. I bought these tools or whatever, and then you don't get any success. That's very difficult. But what I want to say about that is this: um, try to learn as much as you can from people who know. And you can tell those people who know. You got your Department of Agriculture in your location. You can contact them and ask questions. It's free most of the time. Or here in Maryland, it's free. Um, and also other people like Food Farmers Permaculture. Uh, this guy grows stuff all over the place. He's just been growing for years. So he knows what he's talking about. If he tell you something, it's going to be straight. But then you have those people who don't know and they get on the internet and they give a lot of people advice. And that makes it difficult for everyone when stuff is not growing because you listen to um, a person that had some idea, but you know it might not work in your location. But he might have sandy soil. He definitely has soil that has a different balance than yours. But you may have some different situation. Maybe you're growing or trying to grow things in clay soil. Um, and if you're not getting what the results you want, just try to figure out, okay, what does this plant need? Not what it wants, but what does it need? Um, and people that are in your location, what kind of apple trees are they growing? What kind of peach trees are they growing? And try to mimic that, because it makes sense. Food falls because that is why I'm not getting fruit. Pruning all of my trees every year. Got you. I love what he said, but here's where I'm at. And I don't know what to do about it because this is what it is. I grow healthy soil. My job as a gardener is to grow soil, and I enjoy growing soil. I use grass clippings. I cut back my weeds, and I let them fertilize my ground. Any crops that I have, whether it be okra or corn or pepper plants or whatever, they are left out there all winter, and they leave this residue, which is plant matter, and it goes back into the ground. So my soil is richer than it was when I first started gardening here years ago. So now I'm in a situation where I want to grow food that is healthy, abundant, and I can do that with good soil. Your soil is telling you a lot of times what's going on. Things will not grow well if your soil is suffering. And I used to till with a tiller, and I stopped doing that. That was many years ago. So that's not an issue. Uh, and digging all the time in your soil could hurt your soil. Didn't know that years ago. Now I know that. Years later, I know that what I want to do is keep laying down organic matter on the soil surface and allow it to go back to the soil, and it will help my soil be stronger. And one of my favorite things to do was wood chips. Of course, you got to be careful with that because it can bring in all kind of evasive plants onto your property. All right, ladies and gentlemen, or ladies or gentlemen, this has been the Morning Gardener. Thank you so much. Um, we'll do it again real soon. Take care.